Welcome back to the channel, Patriots. If you spend any time walking the vendor halls at SHOT Show these days, you are practically going to trip over a mountain of brand new wonder calibers. It seems like every single manufacturer is desperate to sell you the next hyper-velocity, flat-shooting cartridge. But while all those flavor of the month rounds are fighting for a spot on the magazine racks, there is one absolute juggernaut quietly holding the line. I am talking about the legendary 308 Winchester, derived straight from the battlefield-proven 7.62 NATO military cartridge. This relentless workhorse has harvested more game and protected more American homesteads than almost anything else in your armory. It is the undisputed, blue-collar heavyweight champion of the rifle world. Why is that? Because it simply works. Every time you break that trigger, you get predictable, bone-crushing terminal ballistics. No relying on theoretical physics or fragile high BC projectiles. Today, we are out here on the range getting our hands dirty with the actual hardware. I am giving you my definitive, no-nonsense breakdown of the top 7 tack-driving 308 rifles you absolutely need in your safe for 2026. And a quick disclaimer before we dive in. The platform taking our #1 spot is guaranteed to trigger a few keyboard warriors in the tactical community. We are looking specifically for the weapon systems that take this proven 30 caliber thumper, push it to its absolute mechanical boundaries. If you take your Second Amendment rights seriously, and you respect honest, unfiltered firearms talk, smash that subscribe button right now. Let us get to work. Number 7. The Ruger American Predator. We are kicking off this list with the undisputed heavyweight of the budget tier. This is the exact bolt action that proved to the industry you do not need to max out your credit cards to achieve sub-MOA precision. A decade ago, buying an entry-level hunting rifle was a massive gamble on barrel quality. Ruger completely flipped the script by ignoring fancy aesthetics and focusing entirely on raw mechanical lockup. I have put thousands of rounds through these actions, and the real magic lies in their V-block power bedding chassis. It utilizes dual stainless steel recoil lugs molded directly into the polymer, which draws the receiver down tight and eliminates any accuracy-robbing micro-movements. Solid action to a heavy taper, cold hammer-forged barrel that fights off heat mirage beautifully during long strings of fire. Now, let us be completely honest about the drawbacks. The factory polymer stock feels hollow and undeniably cheap, and when you cycle the bolt, it sounds a lot like dragging a cinder block across wet gravel. But the moment you get behind the glass and watch your impacts touch each other at 100 yards, every single one of those cosmetic complaints vanishes. This is your entry-level ticket into the long-range game. The upside is massive. You get a highly maneuverable, lightweight profile that will not wreck your shoulders on a backcountry hunt. The downside is the gritty action and the lack of premium fit and finish. When we talk about the price tag, Ruger sets the MSRP around $639. But if you shop smart at your local FFL, you can easily walk out the door for roughly $550 to $600. Number 6. The AERO Precision M5. Leaving the bolt-action world behind for a minute, we are stepping into a heavy-hitting gas gun. For years, trying to piece together a reliable large-frame AR-10 was a total nightmare. You had DPMS patterns fighting with Armalite patterns, massive gas system issues, and a lot of frustrating malfunctions. AERO Precision brought their aerospace engineering standards to the table, where extreme tolerances are not just a buzzword, they are a requirement. They completely cured the headache of building a reliable 30 caliber semi-auto. I have assembled several of these receiver sets over the years, and the upper to lower tension is absolutely flawless. It feels like the entire rifle was milled from a single piece of billet. It controls the manufacturing process from their sub-MOA guaranteed barrels right down to their free-floated Atlas handguards. Whether you want to torque your own barrel nut or buy a fully assembled battle rifle, the M5 proves that direct impingement platforms can absolutely hang with precision bolt guns. It lands on this list because it dominates the defensive rifle market in terms of sheer value. You gain serious barrier-blind capability without taking out a second mortgage. The modularity is a huge plus, allowing you to run standard AR-15 fire control groups and furniture. The cons? Like any large-frame direct impingement system, it blasts carbon straight into the bolt carrier group, so you have to run it wet and keep your maintenance schedule strict. Also, the standard mil-spec trigger is basically just a placeholder, so budget for an upgrade immediately. A complete factory M5 carries an MSRP right around $1,500, but street prices consistently hover between $1,300 and $1,600, heavily dependent on your rail and barrel length. Number 5. The TIKKA T3X CTR. If you are looking for the rifle that will ruin your tolerance for cheap actions, look no further. Imported from Finland, these rifles are birthed on the exact same manufacturing lines as top-tier Seiko sniper rifles, and the Finns know a thing or two about building weapons that function flawlessly in sub-zero, mud-caked environments. TIKKA's entire philosophy revolves around taking world-class Seiko barrel blanks, marrying them to a streamlined receiver, and offering that elite DNA to the everyday American shooter. CTR translates to Compact Tactical Rifle, and it is a masterclass in efficiency. The crown jewel of this platform is the 70-degree bolt lift. I have run custom actions that cost triple the price, and the TIKKA bolt still feels like it glides on greased ball bearings. It is the gold standard for factory bolt operation. That slick action feeds a semi-heavy barrel profile, topped with suppressor-ready threads, and a Picatinny optic rail baked right in. TIKKA does not just claim accuracy, they back it up with a 1 MOA 3-shot guarantee before the gun ever leaves the facility. It makes our top 5 because it represents the absolute pinnacle of diminishing returns. You could spend $4,000 on a custom rig and barely notice a difference on paper. The advantages are crystal clear. The action is incredibly fast, the single-stage trigger is dangerously crisp, and it is a mechanical tank. The main negative? Those flush-fit steel magazines are proprietary to the CTR, and picking up spares is going to hit your wallet hard. Expect an MSRP hovering around $1,250, which is exactly what you will likely hand over at the gun counter. Number 4. The BERGARA B14 HMR. This is the ultimate jack-of-all-trades in the precision world. BERGARA cut their teeth in the industry by producing insanely accurate match barrels for high-end boutique builders. Eventually, they decided to stop giving away their best components and built their own action around them. Standing for hunting and match rifle, the HMR bridges the gap between a heavy, steel-ringing competition gun and a practical hunting tool. The secret weapon here is what lies beneath the polymer skin. Molded deep inside that traditional stock is a rigid, full-length aluminum mini chassis. This internal skeleton gives the receiver a rock-solid foundation that will not warp or flex under extreme weather or heavy recoil. Adjustable cheek piece and modular length of pull directly from the factory. Getting a perfect cheek weld is critical for spotting your own trace, and this rifle sets you up for success. Even better, BERGARA cloned the legendary Remington 700 footprint, which means you have immediate access to the largest aftermarket trigger and scope base ecosystem in existence. The B14 HMR earns its rank by delivering custom shop ergonomics for a blue-collar price. If you shoot PRS matches on Saturday and hunt whitetail on Sunday, this is your huckleberry. The pros are fantastic. It feeds from universal AICS magazines, the stock geometry is perfect, and the Spanish-made barrels are legendary. The biggest drawback is the mass. Weighing over 9 pounds before you even mount an optic or a bipod, it is going to feel like an anvil if you are trekking through the mountains. Price-wise, you are looking at an MSRP of $1,250, with actual street prices normally settling between $1,100 and $1,200. Number 3. The Christensen Arms MESA FFT. This rifle is dedicated to the hardcore backcountry hunters who obsess over every single ounce they carry. Christensen Arms basically wrote the book on carbon fiber barrel tensioning technology. We all know traditional bull barrels are brutally heavy. Carbon fiber wrap provides the stiffness of a heavy profile barrel while drastically cutting the weight. It is a brilliant concept, but mastering the harmonic vibrations of a composite barrel takes serious engineering. Christensen cracked the code. FFT stands for Flash Forge Technology, a proprietary process that builds an ultra-light, rigid stock with zero wasted material. When you first handle this rifle, it feels almost impossibly light. The moment you settle behind the glass, it performs like a heavyweight. It features a skeletonized bolt handle, an aggressive radial muzzle brake, and a premium trigger pack. They guarantee sub-MOA groups, all while keeping the bare rifle weight hovering around 5.5 pounds. The MESA FFT takes the bronze medal because it eliminates the physical punishment of high-altitude stalks. Carrying a heavy sniper system up a ridgeline is a great way to ruin a hunt. This gives you bench rest precision in a package that weighs roughly the same as a .22 long rifle. The benefits are undeniable. The weight savings are drastic, the carbon fiber cooling rate is excellent, and it is a beautiful piece of machinery. The trade-off? Physics always demands payment. Firing a full-power .308 out of a 5-pound chassis is going to rattle your teeth. And bleeding-edge materials cost money. The MSRP sits firmly at $1,600, and you will rarely find these discounted on the rack. Number 2. The Daniel Defense DD5V4. Taking the silver medal is a weapon system built for the apocalypse. Daniel Defense does not build range toys. They build hard-use tools for military, law enforcement, and armed citizens who demand total reliability in the worst conditions imaginable. This is a large-frame AR-10 optimized to run suppressed, chew through filthy ammo, and never skip a beat. The defining characteristic of the DD5 is their incredibly robust barrel lockup. Instead of a standard barrel nut that can shift under hard use, they utilize a proprietary 4-bolt connection system that anchors the rail directly to the upper receiver. This creates a monolithic-style rigidity that guarantees your infrared lasers and optics will hold zero through serious abuse. Internally, you get dual ejectors for extremely reliable brass extraction. And straight out of the box, it features a Geisley Super Semi-Automatic 2-stage trigger, which is the undisputed king of combat-reliable precision triggers. It also boasts fully ambidextrous controls for fighting off either shoulder. The DD5V4 earns its spot because it is the ultimate battle rifle. If you want a semi-automatic .308 that will outlive your grandchildren, this is the one. The pros are immense. You get uncompromising durability, sub-MOA potential from a cold hammer-forged barrel, and top-tier components everywhere you look. The cons? It is a heavy piece of machinery meant for fighting, not casual plinking, and the price of entry is incredibly steep. MSRP is a staggering $2,750, and because they are in such high demand, you can expect to pay full retail at checkout. Number 1. The Springfield ARMORY M1A Loaded Precision. Alright, we have reached the summit, and I can already hear the tactical gear snobs warming up their keyboards to tell me I am wrong. In today's industry, precision is always associated with aerospace aluminum, M-lock slots, and skeletonized actions. But occasionally, old-world craftsmanship absolutely schools the modern trends. Taking the number 1 spot is an undisputed piece of American heritage, the Springfield ARMORY M1A Loaded Precision. This is the civilian evolution of the mighty M14 battle rifle. We are dealing with a forged receiver, a rotating bolt, and an operating rod system that has real soul. While the original military rifles were built to hit man-sized targets in the jungle, the Loaded series takes that rugged action and refines it into a surgical instrument. Springfield drops that barreled action into a fully adjustable precision stock system. They upgrade the standard barrel to a medium-weight air-gauged national match profile, and they meticulously tune the 2-stage military trigger until it breaks with zero creep. It is the exact same painstaking gunsmithing process that military armorers utilized for Camp Perry shooting teams. But now, you can buy it directly off the shelf. You are looking at a weapon that belongs in a history book, but shoots tightly enough to win modern bench rest matches. The M1A Loaded Precision claims the crown because it achieves the impossible. It takes a 70-year-old gas piston design, forces it to shoot ragged, sub-MOA holes at 100 yards through sheer mechanical tuning. It proves that a master gunsmith can still outshoot a CNC machine. The advantages? It is a cultural masterpiece. The National Match iron sights are the best ever designed. The recoil is incredibly smooth, and the accuracy is staggering. The downsides? It is built like a tank and weighs just as much. Field stripping the gas cylinder is a major chore compared to an AR platform, and mounting modern glass requires a heavy, specialized side bracket mount. Looking at the investment. MSRP is $2,200, with real-world pricing generally falling between $2,000 and $2,100. All right, Patriots, that is the breakdown. 7 absolute hammers that prove the .308 Winchester is still dominating the landscape. Whether you are building out your first long-range budget rig, or you are dropping serious cash on a battle-ready gas gun, there is a weapon system on this list that will reliably put rounds exactly where your reticle settles. It just goes to show that when you combine a legendary cartridge with relentless American innovation, you get undeniable results. Now, I am turning this over to the community. I fully expect the M1A taking the top spot to cause a massive debate in the comments. So drop down there right now and let me know your thoughts. Ranking right? Or did I completely ignore your go-to precision .30 caliber? I read everything you guys post, so let us get a solid conversation going. If this video helped you narrow down your next purchase, do the channel a huge favor. Hit that like button, subscribe so you do not miss the next review, and leave a comment to feed the YouTube algorithm. Keep your powder dry, stay sharp, and never compromise your rights. I will see you guys on the firing line.